We are live in the business video school. And I was going to say, if Grant kept that pen in his mouth, that we were going to talk about what not to eat while you're at your office. But he took it out real fast. Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know Grant Wise, we are going to introduce him to you today. I think most of you do. And for those of you who don't know, Nick, Vanessa, and myself spent a little time with Grant recently in his hometown of Bentonville, Arkansas, at his video remarketing summit. And we learned some really awesome things there. It was an awesome, very cool summit or event. Different than most. There was some live aspects to it, but a lot of it was digital. It was online. And we had a lot of fun. And we learned about Grant's newest version of his platform called Whitley, where we talked a lot about retargeting and remarketing and video remarketing and Facebook leads and things like that. And so we thought while we were there, Grant, let's get together. Let's do a live in business video school and share all of those things. And so here we are today. Thanks for joining us, brother.
Absolutely, man. Thanks for having me. And thank you guys for coming down for the event. Everybody loved your sessions when you spoke and did a lot of training. So it was fun to collaborate on that.
Awesome, man. So you got a new platform out. Well, you know what? First of all, let's just do back up just for a second and just do a quick introduction about you and the platform.
Yeah. So like you said, my name's Grant Wise. I'm the president and co-founder of Whitley. Whitley is, it's basically this little tool. We call it an automated advertising technology, which doesn't make any sense for people. Basically, Whitley runs your ads for you on Facebook, and something that we've been working to develop now for about 3.5 years. And about 2 weeks ago, we released our newest version, and it's really cool. Now people can literally just create video content or images or whatever that looks like and upload it to Whitley, and then click a couple buttons and Whitley goes and builds their Facebook ads for them. It's pretty awesome. But I've been in the real estate industry doing training, teaching real estate agents how to do Facebook ads for the last 7-8 years, and got started doing just literally that. All I did was taught realtors how to use Facebook ads to generate leads, and that evolved into teaching them kind of all the aspects of Facebook remarketing and retargeting, how to get people to book appointments with you. I mean, just all types of things. And in short and sweet, that's kind of who I am and where I've been. We've got thousands of clients we've helped, and we've helped sell billions of dollars of real estate, all with this cool thing that most people use now called Facebook and Facebook, advertising.
Love it. Love it. And so as it pertains to us, right, is in the business video school, and you just had this event, tie the two together. So obviously everybody kind of knows Facebook ads and running ads and whatnot, but this event and kind of your push is about video remarketing. Explain that, because everybody here is either interested, like learning, or they're already a student and they are learning and they're kind of ramping up their video game. So explain how you put the two together.
Sure. Yeah. So one of the things that we kept hearing is that, hey, I'm getting a ton of leads, but I'm not really able to convert them. And it's not because I can't close deals. It's because nobody will answer the phone. Nobody's answering my calls. Nobody's responding to my texts. Nobody's even opening my emails. I don't know what to do. And when we heard that, we had to figure out, okay, we're graded based on results. We got to figure out how to get people results continuously. And so we started using remarketing and retargeting. And what we found is that if we could theoretically get an agent in front of a buyer or seller, typically they could close the deal. So how do we get realtors in front of buyers and sellers if they won't answer the phone? And that's where remarketing and retargeting came in, because we figured out that if we could create a video about the agent, or the agent could create a video about themselves, and they could do remarketing, which is essentially where a lead comes into the agent's business, and then the next time that person goes back to Facebook, as an example, and they're scrolling, they start seeing the agent. They start seeing your business and brand kind of over and over again. That's remarketing. A lot of you are probably remarketed by many places, most notably Amazon, until you buy products. And so we figured out if we could create video content, or we could help the agent do that, and then we could help them remarket their brand, we could help them essentially get in front of buyers and sellers without calling, texting, emailing. And it's the results were just phenomenal. We were helping our clients increase their conversion 100, 200, 300%. And when you can close 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more deals a month, you're talking about tens of thousands of dollars in income from being able to just get in front of more people. And so when you look at, video and specifically business video school, you guys are teaching people how to create video content. What we're doing is we're helping them take that content and make sure that the leads that they're generating are seeing it every single day. And that allows them to increase their conversion rate because, again, people aren't answering the phone. I don't know if anybody's listening to this and they're experiencing that, but people are struggling to get buyers and sellers on the phone or on an appointment or whatever, simply because there's so many other agents that are trying the same thing. They're trying to call, they're trying to text, they're trying to email, and sometimes people are using even the same scripts. It's not very easy to differentiate yourself. And, I think the only difference in any given market from agent to agent is the fingerprint, right? It's that, like, you're the only difference. Everybody could use the same tools, the same vendors, the same lead generation platforms like Facebook, but nobody can be you. And so if we could help an agent just put a video in front of buyers and sellers, it allowed them to build relationships without talking to anybody. And what's cool is at scale. While I'm doing this right now, while I'm talking to you guys, hundreds of people are watching our videos, maybe even thousands watching videos about me, about the company, about what we do. And that is the ultimate form of leverage. And so there's so many powerful, things I could say about so many incredible things that an agent can do with it. But in short, you guys help somebody create a video. We show that agent how to get more people to watch it so they can convert at a higher level.
I love it. I love it. And Nick, if you want to chime in, feel free to do that. Otherwise, I'll just keep rapping away. But I wanted to ask you, or Grant, this is that so what we do here is really help most agents. For the most part, the majority of our students are fairly beginner-ish, right? And they're really just learning how to do some of the basic skills. So when it comes to creating that video content, and you're an expert at this, and obviously this is the next level. So you learn how to create the video, then what the hell do you do with it? And this is one great example and powerful example of what you can do with your videos. How important is it from your perspective to have the higher quality video? And by that, I mean, not a professionally done video, but a video that you're doing with your phone, but you know how to edit it. And you might know how to add some music and some text and some images and make it stand out. Why do you think that is more important, or not? What is your opinion on the quality of video versus just grabbing your phone and just going?
I think it's a great question. And, I think that there has been, in my experience, two very distinct results that come from one or the other. So what I have seen is that if we're pre-recording a video, we're editing up a little bit, and we're promoting that to our audience, that content is exceptional for allowing us to build a brand, okay? You got to understand that your brand is the relationship you have with the marketplace. And that's the way that I like to think about my brand. My brand is the relationship I have with the people that know that I can help them solve their problems. And if I don't have a good one, I'm not going to help those people solve their problems. So I think that pre-recorded content that's edited up just a little bit, nothing crazy, I think that content is exceptional for helping people create a brand. And you can see examples of this all over the internet with influencers right now. You can see, you got Jeff, I know you're huge on TikTok, which is one of the, I think, most unique platforms in the way that it gives its individual users the ability to edit content right inside of the platform. I believe that's how it works. I don't even know. You're the expert.
Yes.
And so being able to create and edit some of that stuff, I think that's really cool. And I think that will help you do a ton of great work when it comes to branding. When it comes to getting people to take an action with you, I have not seen videos convert better than me pulling out my phone and literally recording a video where it's like I'm talking to that person face to face. And I think that there are many reasons for that. But if I pull out my phone and say, hey, what's up? I saw that you were interested in 1234 Main Street. I wanted to let you know that, this home is available. Like, whatever. That's just one example. I'm speaking directly to you. It's like we're literally standing there face to face having a conversation. If I'm trying to get somebody to take an action with me, like to book a call or send me a message or whatever our conversion objective is, I've not seen anything perform better than the face-to-face, raw, just selfie type video. So I don't know if that makes any sense, but the way that I've seen those two video styles perform, if it's pre-recorded, slightly edited, and it's out there and it's following those people all over the internet, that content is gold for helping people build a relationship with you, for helping people, or for you building your brand with buyers and sellers. If you want somebody to take an action with you, like to move on booking an appointment or sending you a message or viewing a property or whatever, I've not seen anything perform better than the selfie videos. And so that's data that we've collected from hundreds of thousands of dollars in ad spend. That's kind of where my feedback is coming from on that.
So Grant, I have a question on that. So when you're saying you're not seeing anything performing better, are you seeing clear evidence that that kind of video is converting better than everything else? Like, is that a clear winner, or is it just that it doesn't have any clear differentiation on what kind of video somebody should be making in that context?
I think that we've seen clear data that shows us that if somebody does like a selfie style video, when they're trying to get somebody to take an action with them, when they're trying to sell somebody on doing something like book an appointment or send a message or something like that, we've seen very clear, distinct evidence that that type of video outperforms a video where it's maybe pre-recorded and where there's some editing done. What we've seen increase our engagement, increase our reach, increase our brand exposure, increase basically our footprint in the market.
Nope.
Depends on your objective, but I've seen where there's just some insane difference in how we're able to get people to take an action with us.
Yeah, and Jeff, this reminds me. I think we were talking the other day about what was it? The research that Snapchat did on the whole like vertical format video. And we talk a lot about videos, the future of communication. The brain doesn't understand the difference between a video and a real conversation, but it sounds like we're starting to get into the realm of discussing the differences in different kinds of video. And I think that's really interesting because, yeah, it makes sense. Like if I'm holding my phone up, at a certain distance and that person's face is really large on the screen, like my brain and body sort of feels like, hey, that person's right there in front of me. It's hard to say no to someone that's, 3 or 4 feet in front of you having a conversation with you. So yeah, that's really interesting. So are there any other, so obviously that one's great for conversion, kind of that intimate conversation, maybe at the end of the funnel. Are you seeing other kinds of video be more useful in other contexts? Like, would you say that someone should not always just make talking head selfie style videos, or would that work?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Absolutely. Yeah. No, I think that being a part of the videos that you create is obviously important if people are trying to build a relationship with you. Where we have 4 basically different content types. And I think that this may be the answer to the question you're asking is like, what kind of videos do I create? What we have seen is that, there's the personality type content, which is maybe like, why do you sell real estate, or behind the scenes, or stories from your transactions, or, some of those types of things, just more of the personal type stuff. And then there is the educational type content, which is where you're teaching people maybe how to buy a home or how to sell a home or how to get a mortgage or what insurance is, or, all of those types of educational pieces of content surrounding real estate so that you can demonstrate your expertise. And then the third category of content that we recommend to people is testimonials. So, the first thing that we all want to do whenever we learn about a new product or service is read reviews about it, right? We want to make sure that other people have had a good experience. And so if we can get buyers and sellers that we've done business with to be that third party validation, that's really an important, very important category from a content standpoint. And then fourth, which is one of my favorites, is content about your community. And so that's like interviewing local businesses, or highlighting local parts of their local community, or highlighting a restaurant. I mean, there's different types of community type content you could create, but those 4 categories have really been what we see have been the most successful. So for example, if a lead comes into our system, well, the first video that we want to send them kind of in an automated ad is, or a retargeting ad is, okay, lead just came in. When that lead goes back to Facebook, they should see a video of you talking about why you sell real estate, right? That instantly allows you to create a connection with them. Now they understand why you do what you do, and they understand how you can help them. Well, if they continue scrolling, the next video they should see about you is maybe a short video about 3 things you need to know to sell your home. That's just an example. Or how to get pre-approved for a mortgage, right? That's educational content. Now we're adding value to them by answering some of the questions that they may internally have. And then they keep scrolling the next day, whatever. They see a testimonial. Maybe a buyer or seller has pre-recorded a 1 to 3 minute video about their experience with you. That's third-party validation. So what we're doing is we're essentially selling these people on doing business with us, but we're allowing this video content, this pre-recorded content, to do it for us. So I don't know if that directly answers your question, Nick. I hope it did, talking about what types of videos to create, but we're typically coaching people on, hey, when you're using remarketing, you want to pre-record videos, and you want to maybe even edit them up a little bit, and then you want to upload those to, now we're teaching people to upload them to Whitley, but you want to upload them to Facebook Ads Manager and remarket those to the leads you're generating.
Do you think it's important? I always mention, editing, for example. That's just like the most common buzzword, but taking it down to the most simplistic conversation, when you're holding said phone, which is where to look, like where is the lens at? And maybe to articulate a little bit better. So in other words, be prepared when you're shooting your videos. Like if you're going live, or if you're just doing it off the cuff, don't just ramble, because you're going to end up, even though you're nervous, you're going to end up talking what should be a minute now is going to take 3 minutes, because you're going to ramble because you don't have bullet points in front of you. Do you ever find that to be of any importance when it comes to conversion with this sort of thing?
I think absolutely. Like, you've got seconds to grab somebody's attention.
Mm-hmm.
And in marketing, really the only thing that we can leverage in marketing is desire or necessity. So if somebody has no interest in buying or selling a home, your ads are probably most likely not even going to be targeted to those people. So when people see this video content, you got to know that these are people interested in buying or selling property. And if you can't get to a point, if you are not very good at telling story, or if you are dragging content out by acting distracted, some of these things that you're talking about, it's not going to help you get your content seen. And if people aren't watching your videos, then ultimately it really doesn't matter. You got to be engaging in it. Not that you have to be funny and entertaining and all of those types of things. That helps, but you have to understand, narrative. You have to understand how to engage with people. You have to understand how to get attention. So, I mean, I personally have a formula that I use whenever I create video content. And it's very simple. It's problem. So what is the overall problem I'm addressing in this video? Or what is the overall question I'm asking and answering in this video? Story. So typically I will tell a little bit of a story to hook people in. Our minds are wired to latch to good stories and pay attention. So I'll go problem, story, solution. So what is the solution to the initial question that I asked, and how? And then I go into proof, right? So how did my story kind of tie into my solution? So problem, story, solution, proof. And then if I want them to take an action with me, my 5th part of my recipe is pitch. So problem, story, solution, proof, and then pitch whatever it is that I want them to do. And I try to make that one thing. Either book some time with me, click the link, send a message, call. I don't change that. I try to make sure that that stays congruent. So everything that people see from me, they know what action I want them to take. It's not this one or that one and it gets confusing. It's go to Whitley.net, go to Whitley.net, go to Whitley.net, go to Whitley.net, right? Everything that they see from me has that same call to action. So, Jeff, I hope that answers your question. I mean, the more that you can kind of master the art of having a conversation with somebody, if I'm creating a video and I'm looking all over the place, which I frequently do, I'm not good at doing that sometimes. If I can actually stare at the camera, what happens is when your people are watching this content, they're making eye contact with you, right? They're literally having a conversation with you. And when you get into some of the neuroscience, some of the stuff that happens in the brain, the more I can actually make it feel like somebody's having a direct conversation with me, the more engaged the viewer will be from the content perspective. So I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, it does. And it's interesting that you mentioned that, because we say focus on the eye of the camera, which I'm doing right now. When you talk to someone on a computer, I look at you. Like when you're talking,
That's
I'm
what
looking
I'm doing right now.
I'm right at the screen. But now when I talk to you, I'm not. I have to look at the eye of the camera. But the reality is when we're sitting at dinner, like we've done before, we don't just stare at each other in the face the entire time we're talking. You do. You look around. You probably do more of it when you're actually together. So I think the point is make it as natural as possible, but focus on not staring at the screen. Because if you're looking at the screen, that's weird. And Nick and I even did a video about that, where it's like, if you're constantly looking at the screen, it's like you're looking at their chest, or you're looking just
Right.
over their shoulder. And so that's just it's a video tip that we throw out there. But the other thing I wanted to mention was I love how you have this, like a script, like you said, like what's the problem and the pitch and all this stuff. Cause we say yours is different, but kind of the same. I say hook, intro, story, call to action. It's 4, not 5, but really when you think about it, they're kind of similar. Yours to me is more like very sales oriented, like from a sales school. Mine's more just general video. But at the end of the day, it's kind of the same. It's interesting. And I love that you said that, because that's the point, people. Like have a plan. If you're good, if you're eloquent and you can spitball when you get in front of the camera, by all means, have at it. Most of us aren't. And it takes years of practice for me to feel comfortable. And even still today, I would probably be considered somebody eloquent in front of the camera. I still have to plan it out or bullet point it or whatever to stay on task. And I think that's really important. Nick, what do you have to say? I'm gonna jump out here because I'm doing all the talking.
Well, no, I mean, I agree. I think those are awesome strategies. I do want to talk more about Whitley, though, Grant, because I think that's when I saw your presentation, we were there for the event, and I've run Facebook ads for years. I mean, countless hours invested in going through this, laborious process every single time. And I've taught a lot of people to do it, and it's extremely challenging because there is a lot to learn there. And then when I saw Whitley and what you guys can do with this platform, with the videos that people are making, it seems like it should really open up some incredible doors. So tell us a little bit about the platform now. We have these videos, maybe we're following this structure and format. We take them to Whitley. What is the process like to get a Facebook ad set up, and who can we target with Whitley?
Yeah, like I was saying, Whitley is what we call an automated advertising platform. So essentially what that means is Whitley runs your ads for you. So instead of you going to Facebook to set up advertisements, which we've learned can be very difficult, it's difficult to understand, and sometimes we don't always know what to do. What we wanted to do is create a solution where Whitley could just do it, where Whitley could just run the ads for people. And I don't think any more simplistic than that. So instead of creating a video and uploading it to Facebook, you create a video and you upload it to Whitley. You write your post just like you would in Facebook, except when you hit submit, kind of set your budget, hit submit, you're targeting that video to buyers and sellers that you've been interacting with. So what we do is we help an agent either upload a custom audience file to Whitley, names, emails, phone numbers, just their database, or we integrate with their CRM and it automatically does it. And then Whitley goes into Facebook and builds a custom audience to target market their video content to. So it's as simple as first creating your video, and then second, uploading it to Whitley, writing your post. Third step is make sure that the audience you're wanting to target is selected, set your budget, and then hit submit. So in less than 4 to 5 steps, you can be using video remarketing in less than 4 or 5 steps. You can literally be following your buyer and seller leads all over the internet until they decide to do business with you. And what I love about everything that I just described to you is that's literally 90 seconds. Like, it doesn't take, if you go to log into Facebook, it sometimes takes you 90 seconds just to find where you're even supposed to go. In Whitley, you just upload your content, select your audience, and hit submit, and boom, in less than a couple minutes, your ads are being reviewed by Facebook. You don't have to log into the ads manager. And every ad that Whitley sets up is already pre-selected for some of the special real estate parameters, like special housing category and stuff like that. So we have again, currently, I always say knock on wood when I do this, we have right now, based on my knowledge, 100% success rate of getting ads approved. Wow. If we can reduce ad decline, that in of itself saves you so much time, because we're seeing a lot of agents getting their ads decline. They don't understand why. And Facebook really doesn't tell you why, right? They just kind of give you this generic, hey, your ads didn't follow our policies. And so we just wanted to oversimplify the process. I mean, it's so difficult. So it's kind of like hiring somebody to do it, except it's not a person, it's a tool, and the tool does it for you.
There's nothing more aggravating than spending 30 minutes setting up an ad and then getting it declined.
Our internal teams that run our paid media campaigns, we're running dozens of campaigns. We're spending a lot of money. We don't get any of the help from Facebook. I mean, just like anybody else, you have to be spending so much money to get some of that help. And our teams complain relentlessly about, hey, 80% of our ads are getting declined because we don't check special housing category. We're not selling houses. Just because we are targeting real estate agents as our prospective clients, we get grouped into those categories, and it prevents us from being able to kind of streamline that process too. So, I mean, our own internal teams are very excited, because it means that we get to do away with one of the most frustrating parts of our day, which is disputing ads and getting them reapproved and all of that. So.
Well, that's a question I have for you. Is obviously Whitley's built for real estate agents, but is this something that people in other industries can use just as easily, or are there any kind of workarounds they have to add?
Well, I mean, I think that the simple answer to that is yes. I mean, anybody could use it for sure. Our company focus is solely in the real estate space. Right. So we primarily help real estate agents. I would say 20% of our business is loan officers, and then we help a lot of title people, and then we help a ton of real estate investors as well. But so our main focus is real estate. There have been many people excited about the prospect of not having to run their own Facebook ads, so we've got a lot of requests already, but currently our focus is real estate.
Cool.
Very good. Any Nick, you got anything else, or do we want to give Grant the floor to share some parting words with us?
Yeah, I mean, I covered my questions. Thanks, Grant.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, 1,000%. Thank you guys for having me. I think that it's if you're wanting me to wrap up here, I could.
Give us some closing. Yes, please.
Keep that up for him better here. Why don't you tell us how somebody can get signed up for Whitley, and maybe if you want to give us some information on what it costs and whatnot, that would obviously be awesome.
Jeff, I think I sent you a special link for all the Business Video School people, so you guys have access to that. I'll let you guys send that to everybody that's watching this, so that they can go check out Whitley. Look, I mean, if you're having a problem generating leads, or you're having a problem converting the leads that you're generating, our automated ad platform, I think, could solve it for you. Whitley runs your ads for you, right? And if you can use a tool to run your Facebook ads so that you don't have to, I mean, that's massive time savings and frustration savings. But if you can use a tool that'll help you increase your conversion by 100, 200, 300% without hiring a marketing agency or buying another training program or trying to struggle to figure it out yourself, there's a massive opportunity there. And, if those are some of the things that you would like to do, I mean, I'd love to help. You can, I'll let those guys share the link with you, but you get a 2-week free trial, and it's as simple as I described. Take some of the content that these guys are teaching you how to create, upload it to Whitley, write a post, set your budget, set your target audience, and hit submit. And in less than 90 seconds, your content could be following buyers and sellers all over the internet until they decide to do business with you. And I think that as we are seeing, it will really help you grow your business in a big way.
Awesome, man. I will, yes, I will share a link in the comments as soon as we depart here. And anybody wants to check it out, please do so. And anybody that is still on the fence about improving your video skills, you've come to the right place. Nick, I think there's a tour coming up, right?
We do. We have a tour coming up tomorrow at 2:00 Central Time. So that's 12 Pacific, 1:00 Mountain, 3:00 Eastern. Always got to do that because we got a lot of people all over the country. But yeah, so we will post that link in the comments as well. If you'd like to come in and check out Business Video School, learn to make some videos, and then get them over there onto Whitley and put them in front of the right people so you can attract more business.
Love it. Grant, I appreciate you, man. This has been a fun collaboration. We're just getting started. Looking forward to doing a lot of stuff with you in the future, man. These two things married together equal a lot of potential business.
Absolutely.
Cool.
Thanks guys.
Yep.